Well, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome. And thank you so much for joining me this evening. This evening, I want to thank those who are joining me on TikTok, those who are joining me on Facebook, those who are joining me on YouTube, and those that are joining me on Instagram for tonight in review, where we look at some of the top news of the week and what is your news as well. That is very important. What is your week? So let me just check over onto Instagram as well. Start Instagram, start TikTok. Alton Green, Danny Chris, Courtney Donald, all those who are joining me on for everywhere in the world, thousands of people all over the world, joining the Silburn Show as we reflect and as we look at what are some of the top news of the week. And I'm going to be joined at some point later by my good colleague, Mr. Gary Graham, Reverend Gary Graham, to have that conversation as well. And I want to say that, as usual, and as I say all the while, there are so many things which are happening in the world, right? There are different things which are happening in the world, different things happening in the space, and every week there is something new. Yes, every week there's something new. Winston Scott, good afternoon. JW2347, welcome, good afternoon. Those on Facebook, welcome, good afternoon. D, thank you. Ridley White, thank you so much. Good afternoon. Welcome. And I encourage you to share. This information. I tell you, one of the breaking thing which has happened in the past week has been the calling of the elections in Jamaica. I know many people have been waiting for that. Many people have been waiting for the date for the calling of an election in Jamaica. And the election in Jamaica is going to be the 3rd of September 2025. The 3rd of September 2025. Hi, Politics Inspired. Clifford Carty. Thank you so much. And nomination day is going to be the 18th. The 18th of August. So therefore, things are rocking roll. So what a lot of people have asked for it. A lot of people have said, call it now. Well, the call has been. And as a result of the call, there we are. The election is in motion. And of course, one of the things which is happening as well is Trump and Putin are meeting in Alaska. Alaska? Is that Alaska? No, Alaska. The very interesting thing about Trump meeting Putin in Alaska is that Alaska was part of Russia. So that's a very interesting thing, So that's a major development. But Mr. Zelensky was greeted at number 10. And check out with his Old Boys, Old Boys Network. Check out with Mr. What should I say? Keir Starmer. He was with the German Chancellor as well. So what is happening? I hope these guys are not trying to play off against each other. As a matter of fact, I think this war should have stopped a long time. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before I go any further, I'm going to invite Mr. Gary Graham, who seemed to always have the answer for all these things. But let's just start this. Let's invite Mr. Graham in a special way. Mr. Graham, how are you doing?
Well, it's great to be again on the Silburn CDL TV show.
Fantastic, and I tell you, it's an honor. Who's calling me? It's an honor having you as well, because we are going to break down. We have been here before in many different ways. We're going to break down some of the key things which are happening. How are you? How are you doing now? Anyhow,
not bad. Not bad. Thank the Lord. I am, as the old timers would say, I'm standing up, looking out, and not lying down, looking up.
Yeah, one of the breaking news which happened, which we always been talking about, is the Jamaica elections have now been called, because every week people keep asking me. Some people even call me from Jamaica and say, Silburn, has the election called it? but but now we know that it is called for the 3rd of September 2025, and the nomination day will be the 18th of August 2025. What's your take on that, Gary? Are
The
you excited?
the 18th of August or
Yeah.
September?
No, 18th of August. No, 18th of August is the nomination day. The 3rd of
Okay.
September is election day. Are you have you got your tickets? You got your tickets? Are you gonna be?
Well, sadly, no. I haven't got my ticket at all. Not as yet, anyway.
Well, I said to a person earlier that I saw, and I said, "Are you going down to vote?" Him said, "No, but I'm going to give you my vote. You can use my vote."
I've been talking to a few people, and they were saying that they're hoping that Mr. Holness wins.
Well, it is very interesting, Gary. It's going to be a very tight ship. Good afternoon, evening, Belinda. It's going to be a very tight one, and based on what I'm hearing as well, hearing from people, some are wanting Andrew Holness to win. Some are wanting um, Marky G, Mr. Golden to win. So it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be a very interesting election. And yeah, it's going to be a very interesting election. And I believe it's going to be the people that turn out that will make a difference. Now, who turns out is going to make a difference in this particular election. But
Mhm.
it is definitely needed.
Yes, yes.
Is definitely needed. But anyhow, one of the major thing which is happening now, you saw Zelensky was here, um, meeting the prime minister, but Trump and Putin, I don't know if they've met yet, but um, they're about to meet for their talks on Ukraine. Crunch time in Alaska. Trump set to meet Putin in push for Ukrainian peace. We have been here before, guys. We've been talking about this as many times. Um, do you think this is a showmanship? Yeah.
Um, it could be
Mm,
one of a few things. We all know that Trump is he's going for his Nobel Peace Prize, so he
yes.
wants that. He wants to be seen as a man who can broker peace. So I
Mm,
think he's going for that. Two, I think that Putin, I don't think he's in any way for negotiation. I mean, he's already stated he's not. He wants what he has. He's
yes.
key, and
It's
I
not
don't
going to
think
budge.
he's not going to give Zelensky any land back. So
Mm,
I think Trump really needs to negotiate on that from that standpoint that he doesn't get anything else really.
mm,
But
mm.
again, Putin wants Ukraine. That's what he wants. He doesn't, I don't. It was said that the war in Ukraine, the war in Ukraine that Russia started,
Yes.
it could have been over probably in 2 years. But the way how Russia's fighting it, they've lost more troops than
Mm,
Ukraine, and their advancement really on the ground is very slow. It's extremely slow. So as
mm.
far as concerned, this could be a forever war for them. Just like the United States went in Vietnam and
Yes.
in Afghanistan of
Mm.
recent time. So I don't think Putin's really in any rush to do anything. I think he wants to whip Zelensky down, and not
You want to,
only
yeah.
I think he wants to wear Europe down because let's call a spade a spade. It's Russia against Europe because
Because,
the arms that Ukraine is using is NATO, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, lots of them are supporting him. You know,
Right,
weapons from UK, weapons from different parts of Europe as well, and they're even saying some of the weapons from when America used to give him some weapons under Biden
right,
as well. Uh, Trump had mentioned something about some deal of land swap or so, but that has been frowned upon by Zelensky, who says that no way he can do that. You know, he's not mandated to do such. You know, and what they're saying is that this pair will meet for the first time in 6 years. That is Trump and Putin.
right,
You know,
right,
Trump trying to set out based on his campaign pledge to end the Russian war in Ukraine. I guess the pledge that he has made to end the war, what's happening in Gaza, that is not seeming to come to fruition. And one was portrayed himself as a global peacekeeper to leverage his relationship with Putin to achieve a ceasefire breakthrough where others have failed. You know,
right, right.
and what is very strange at the same time is
Yeah.
that this particular, I mean, it's interesting. You're gonna have a peace deal, and you're gonna discuss peace, but the person who you're supposed to be discussing with is not there, which is Zelensky, who has been excluded from the talks and warned that any resolution made in his absence will be meaningless. What do you think about that?
Say that again.
No, Zelensky has said being excluded from the talks, and he said he warned that any resolutions made in his absence will be meaningless. What do you think about that? What persons think about that? Because what he's saying is
Well,
that, hang on a second, you got these two guys fighting, and only one of them you're talking to.
I mean, um, I can understand Zelensky to some extent, but at the same time, if Zelensky wants peace, does he want peace or does he want war? Who is he really up? Well, he should know Russia already. He should know Putin already. Um,
Mm.
and I think that Zelensky, if Europe turns its back on Ukraine right now, I mean, Zelensky doesn't have a
I
hope.
like to stand on.
No, he doesn't. He
Mm.
can say everything that he wants to say. Well, he'll be like another um Bashir Assad, Bashir
But
Assad.
Trump did say that he has no cards to play. He has no cards to play when they had that bust up in the White House. But I think one of the things that one would have to consider is, which you said rightly, do you want the war to come to an end or not? I'm sort of wary about this thing called lands, fighting over lands, Gary. Fighting over lands when, you know, they said if Russia takes some of the land, he's gonna go for land in Poland and different countries. But
Right.
Russia seemed to be only interested in former Russian states from the USSR.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't I don't think he's going beyond that. Someone named Soviet just joined Soviet. Yeah, it's it's a very interesting development. What is happening there at present?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Zelensky should be happy that the United States is trying to negotiate peace for him and for
Mm.
Ukraine, because does he want Russia to constantly be bombarding him
His
and
country.
yeah, his country and all of that? No, I mean, okay, Putin may have ulterior motives, but if he's got someone speaking on his behalf, trying to broker peace that he certainly can't bring
Mm.
because Putin is not taking any notice of him. You know, he's got the most powerful in the world. He's got the most powerful man in the world at this present time, which is Trump, and he's the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Then I think he ought to try and support that because Putin is not listening to Zelensky.
Yeah.
Putin would find all the time in the world to listen to Trump,
Mm,
which is the president of the US.
mm, mm,
So so that's the difference. That is a big plus, or that's the difference right there, Silver.
mm.
Putin wouldn't find the time. He wouldn't waste a minute to sit down with Zelensky, but he'd find a whole day to sit down with the president of the US. And if the president of the US is trying to offer peace or to broker peace, then Zelensky should at least welcome that.
Mm.
You see, so I don't know.
Well, Trump had sort of made some sort of what should I say, skepticism whether or not he would stand by his threat of imposing sanctions on countries that do business with Russia, which would have resulted in a blistering trade war with China. He has, however, gone as far as to say he will impose secondary tariffs on India later this month over its purchase of Russian oil. But that don't seem to be happening. Somehow I believe that Trump is more happy at the same time to be. I mean, I think both of them admire each other. Russia admire Trump. Trump admire Putin. I would say because he like that strong man attitude. That's why Trump maybe like Kim Jong Un or whatever like that. Um, yeah, but I just have to wonder what's the sense of prolonging this war, guy? What's the sense of prolonging this long war? What's the sense of prolonging the war in Gaza? What's the sense of prolonging these things? It just makes no sense and it defies all logics because just going around in circles. It's like when people are saying they're going to board boats and come to the UK and everybody's fighting. You talk about these borders now. People fighting for borders. People fighting for lands. You want to say, hang on a second, who these land belong to? Well, I'm not going to
Mhm.
say God. Earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof.
Right, right.
Yeah. But it's, what Trump is saying, we are going to change the battle lines on the war in Ukraine. That's what he's saying. Going to change the battle lines. And one of the things that he has said, and if I play it here, what Trump said about changing the battle lines, and it's very interesting what he's saying. But you always say something all the while. You always say, watch, no, watch what Trump do, not what he says. Am I right? That's what you always say. Watch
Yeah.
what Trump do and not what he says. Yeah. And if I play this here, let me see if you can hear it.
There'll be some land swapping going on. I know that through Russia and
Where is it?
through conversations with everybody. There'll be
Can you hear
some
anything?
swapping. There'll be some changes in land, and the word that they
You
will
don't hear
use
nothing, do
is,
you?
they make changes. We're going to change the lines, the battle lines.
You're not hearing anything, Gary, do
Russia's
you?
occupied a big portion of Ukraine. They've occupied some very prime territory. We're going to try and get some of that territory back for Ukraine. But they've taken some very prime territory. They've taken largely.
You're not hearing anything, right, Gary? No,
I'm giving you the thumbs up. I'm hearing everything.
you're hearing everything. Really? Okay. It's strange. I'm not hearing it from my side. but let me get it back then and just ignore me. Ignore that I can't hear it, but everybody can hear this bit here. Let me just bring it back again. Um, Strange that I'm not hearing it.
You didn't hear anything at all?
No, I'm not hearing it from my side. But
There'll be some
most important
land
thing that you can
swapping
hear,
going on. I know that through Russia and through conversations with everybody.
you're hearing, yeah?
There'll be
You
some
said.
swapping. There'll be some changes in land, and the word that they will use is, they make changes. We're going to change the lines, the battle lines. Russia's occupied a big portion of Ukraine. They've occupied some very prime territory. We're going to try and get some of that territory back for Ukraine. But they've taken some very prime territory. They've taken largely ocean. In real estate, we call it oceanfront property. That's always the most valuable property. I'm going to go and see the parameters. Now, I may leave. and say good luck, and that'll be the end. I may say this is not going to be settled. I mean, there are those that believe that Putin wanted all of Ukraine. I happen to be one of them, by the way.
Okay, you heard everything, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I heard it. I heard the last bit there as well. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's like a sort of joker smoker in a sense, Gary. You know, it's like a sort of joker smoker with this whole thing and the whole. And I think it was a bit symbolic in the sense that they went to Alaska, which was initially Russian property. Yeah, but but do we think, ladies and gentlemen, do we think that Zelensky need to bow, not say bow to Trump literally, but sort of listen, we need to stop this thing because the country's getting torn up, Gary.
That's why I'm saying that with Trump, who is trying to broker peace. Now, I mean, we all know that Trump has his own ulterior motives. That's one thing.
Mm.
We know that Trump wants his Nobel Peace Prize. We know that.
Yeah.
But with the president of the United States, take the man out of it, if at all possible. Take the name Trump out of it. The president of the United States is going in, trying to make the effort to bring peace to a country where innocent people are just losing their lives, children, mothers. I mean, men are just, are being slaughtered. Okay, so that alone should appeal to Zelensky. That alone should push Zelensky into the position of saying we welcome the approach that the president of the U.S. is doing for us. Let us see what can happen. Let's see what can take place. But no, Zelensky is not doing that. He's holding out for what? I mean, how many more people? How many more individuals must die? How many more? How much more of the cities of Ukraine must be destroyed before Zelensky comes to his sense and says, I want peace. Well, he said he wants peace, but he's not supporting anything. I mean, no, I mean, even Europe, even NATO to some extent, or the European countries. I mean, which planet are they on? Why do they want war so much? Why they, you got individuals like Macron, you got people like Starmer. These two.
So can we say then comfortably that Zelensky somehow ego is bruised, being the fact that he's been ignored or seemed to be ignored? That is one of the reasons why he has been doing these rounds, speaking to the German Chancellor, coming to number 10 Downing Street and hugging up both him and Keir Starmer. Because Keir Starmer love these things. Because it detracts him. It's a distraction from what is happening in the UK on the national economy here. So he love these international things to sort of show some sort of prowess to a certain extent. The meeting which is scheduled for tomorrow, it says Putin has been consistent on his desire to win Ukrainian territory, and I think he's going to be going for that after all these years and after all these people lost, and he's got to send a strong message to his people. While Trump has made no secret of his desire to act as a global peacemaker, are we saying that the Nobel Peace Prize is so very fundamentally crucial to Trump? I guess because Obama got it. So they want to get one up on Obama.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I don't know. Sometimes you have to wonder which planet are these guys on?
Yes, yes. It's very interesting, as you rightly say. Which, yeah,
they cry out for peace, and then when someone makes the move, makes the step in the direction. I'm not even saying that some of these guys, not even to say that some of these guys, have the right motive for it. I mean, again, let me refer to President Trump. He may have ulterior motive. Everybody knows one big ulterior motive that President Trump has is that he wants his Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah,
and then so often that is spoken about on Newsnight or on BBC One or on ITV, Channel 4.
Yes.
GB News, CNN, and all the major newscasters.
Yes.
They do mention that every so often, so people know what Trump wants. But put that to one side. He has stepped up to speak on Zelensky's behalf. Not only Zelensky, but the people of Ukraine.
Yes.
Just stop this senseless war. Even Trump has said that it's senseless. It's not making a lot of sense to anybody.
But not
Zelensky,
yeah.
And Zelensky, right, is refusing, or he's showing his obstinance, or he's obstinate. He's stiff-necked. He's stubborn. The man is stubborn.
Yes.
And he doesn't. He feels he shouldn't be giving up any more land, or he wants to take back the land that Russia has taken. But he has he has no weapons. He has nothing. Everything that he has been given to him by either Germany, UK, France, Poland. I don't know if Italy or Spain is there to some extent, but the major European nations that has anything to give, they've given. If they should turn around now and stop giving Zelensky doesn't have anything to say. He has nothing because he has nothing to fight with.
Yeah, someone on TikTok says Ukraine was meddling in global trade policies. It was a problem. Accept it. Another person says, Silver, yeah, labor right. I've been called a labor right now. Last week I was called a socialist, a PNP. Now I'm called a labor right. Thank you. Welcome to those on TikTok as well. Welcome to the world, the true world, as well. It is very interesting, the developments which are happening over there. But if we turn our eyes and look at the Middle East now, the Middle East is another thing, whereby I saw one station, I don't know if it was BBC or Sky, showed when a Palestinian was looking out for his land, and they were showing his land. They said the land was taken away from him by settlers, and he was just looking at his land. And while he was looking at his land, a couple Jewish persons drove up there, and I guess because the BBC or the Sky reporter was there, they didn't do anything. But I can just imagine one have the land for years. He said he has had the land for years, and it's just been taken away from him, and he's just watching and seeing the land there as well. There's so much inequality, there's so much injustice in all aspects of the world, and it needs strong leadership to deal with it. But then at the same time, when it says strong leadership, the question is, will these wars and these end, or is a ramping up for something else? Because we're at the brink, as many people were saying when Iran came into the frame recently, but now they're just silent, like they cover them out. Is it Trump just shut them up, shut them down?
Yeah.
You know, as well. Can you see me?
Can I see
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
I can.
Okay. No, just something here on the screen I can't see properly, as well.
Okay. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
you.
The Well, thanks for those, Ted, and coming on that, Andre. Thank you for those coming on, and on the platform. Yeah. The, it is very interesting, Gary. It is very interesting, you know, about this whole thing called peace in Ukraine. How can peace in Ukraine be materialized? How can it become a reality today? And that is why we keep saying, where is God in all of this? Gary, where is God in all of this?
Where is God in all of this?
Yeah.
Of what's happening in Ukraine and the world, put it that way?
Yes. Many people are asking questions.
And
Ukraine
yes,
must give Ukraine must give Odessa back to Russia. That's what somebody said. Must give Odessa back to Russia. Yeah. The answers that people are askings about the world, answers that they are seeking, answers, and the answers are lacking. Is not coming forth. Trump, it has seen, is not able to deliver. Russia is seen not able to deliver. Lamy and Vance coming together, never seen to deliver. Starmer is not seeming to deliver. Maybe they need Andrew Holness, who seemed to deliver, or Mark Golden as well, to deliver. Who is going to deliver? Who is going to deliver at this point? That's a very interesting question in the world that because I think you have said it. Years ago, we had strong leaders, but today it is very clear that the leaders of this world is somewhat, I'm not going to say they are, but I'm just using the analogy, is somewhat coming across as being very inept. Very inept. Lack of forward thinking, lack of finding strategic resolutions to war which is in the world. Yeah. So while Nero fiddles, Rome burn. And then I must pinpoint Zelensky. And I know many people are saying, and they're saying, if Zelensky don't stand his ground, then the same thing which happened to Zelensky will happen to others. I don't really believe that, in a sense, because if Putin wanted to do so with other places, he would have done it already. I think what it is the personal vendetta, the personal issue with Ukraine, a former part of USSR. They're families, they're brothers and sisters, man. You know, they're brothers and sisters. Long time. And that's the big thing. But anyway, moving from President from Russia. Um, they said do you follow AI, Gary? Do you follow artificial intelligence?
not really. Even though they do say that that artificial intelligence, AI, is very much involved with everything that we do now. But and to tell you the truth, I have downloaded AI on my phone, but I don't really use it.
Well, if you updated your AI, your WhatsApp, AI is there in the stream as well. You know, but
Mm.
what they've said now is that AI designs antibiotics for gonorrhea and MSR super drugs. What is it? AI is going to be finding solutions for many things. Drugs were designed atom by atom by the AI and kill the superbugs in laboratory and animal tests. AI more than likely is going after the virus that is called the Big C. Two compounds still need years of refinement and clinical trial before they could be prescribed. So, what they are saying is that this is one of the positive aspects of artificial intelligence. Some will say artificial intelligence will slow you and dumb you down, but as they say, sometimes artificial intelligence will make you better, creating new opportunities, Gary,
Mhm. Yeah.
creating new solutions, creating new, um, uh, uh, you know, creating new hope. Many people are looking at artificial intelligence hopeless. Belinda Gibbons, you said nope. Is it nope that you don't like artificial intelligence, or what? Or not looking at the signs? That's what the signs. That's what the signs are saying. Signs are saying artificial intelligence is here to stay. A powerful concept, AI,
Mm.
and I I
Mm.
I I, I, I do wonder up to this day how many persons are still not. It's not about embracing AI, but actually acknowledging the fact that artificial intelligence is here to stay. Artificial intelligence in many different respects. Gary, they say artificial intelligence is now creating sermons. You heard that? Have you heard that one?
I have come upon that. Yes, I
Yeah.
have heard about that. I mean, it's
Mm,
sad. It's sad if we're having to go down that road but AI is saying a lot of things that if it is not checked, people will believe it without asking questions.
mm,
You know, where
yeah.
are we going? Where are we going? Why hasn't legislation or anything been passed, in our government in regards to the control of AI? I mean,
Mm,
AI is getting out of control. I've been looking at various things on Facebook that is very questionable, but there doesn't
mm,
seem to be any control of what comes out on our social media.
mm,
There's no control over it at all. But it seems that it looks as if the powers that be wants AI to to be so much in the forefront of people's minds that that people will rely on AI for everything, really, and no question must be asked. Because I mean, look at it like this,
mm,
Silver.
mm,
AI could mimic and copy everything you do, in so much as even put out shows in your name, looking like you, looking, acting like you, and like me, and you, the real Silver, don't know anything about it. Could even have me to be on there, but there doesn't seem to be any kind of control. How easy that can be done and how dangerous it is, because there is no way, well, I wouldn't say there isn't any way, but
mm,
for you to prove that it wasn't you
mm,
at a particular time, on a particular day, doing what they said you did, you'd have, I mean, deep pockets in order to
yeah.
prove that it's not you. So there needs to be some way of control over these things, but there doesn't seem to be any appetite, as they would say, to do that.
Yes, yes. That's a very interesting thing. And as I said, I've had a couple interviews with a colleague to explore and to discuss the whole advent of AI. Even my discussion on civics, someone contacted me from Jamaica and said, please discuss AI. People don't really want to hear about physics. People want to hear about AI, you know, because that is what they say is the way forward. And you know, the 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 reality, as you rightly say, yes, it is here. It is not going anywhere. and we are seeing it interwoven in many ways. Many different organizations, the place I was working with, and they had a meeting whereby they're talking about is it co-pilot, another AI
Yeah.
thing which they are bringing into the frame. Thank you guys for joining me on Extreme Beauty, JB to wrap up. Thank you so much for coming on to the discussion there. Yeah, a lot of persons are organizations are championing it because they seen it. This is what they see. They see it as a way they can cut down, I believe, manpower. I see it as a way affect efficiency and at the same time cost saving. Local authorities who have a lot of uh, costs for staff, they're going to be finding ways how. Listen, where was I speaking to the other day? I was trying to get through to somewhere, actually to a local authority. Gary, you couldn't for the life of me find somebody to speak to. Everything is AI. And you put in, you say certain thing, it keeps coming back to you. It's like everything is, as far as I'm concerned, I think what you got to do these days is to just put in your voice into your phone, automate it, and then talk to automation to telephones.
Yes. Yes.
That is where it is. So all you got to do is sit back, and it's going to be automation to automation. And there will be any need for human beings. As I keep saying all the while, the show which used to come on, which I don't know if you watched it, it is called iRobot. An iRobot, is it iRobot? Yeah. Hi, Dion. Oh yeah, iRobot was with Will Smith,
Yes.
and therefore, as in iRobot, what they saw was a situation where all these robots eventually started going crazy. But there was one robot named Sonny. Sonny blinked. And what is turning out to be is turning out to be a situation whereby the whole world is going to be under the thumbs of artificial intelligence. And when that happens, the whole world will somehow become and conditioned and trained to be an iRobot, Gary. So therefore, there's no
Mm,
need to create any robot because people will start being robots, conditioned, trained in a particular way, and controlled by someone else out there with this whole thing called artificial intelligence. And and while I appreciate artificial intelligence and while I've been using it at the same time, I do recognize what it is. And I think there's something sinister about it at the same time.
mm,
You know,
mm, mm.
someone's no, I'm in London, I'm in the UK. You're not responding to comments. No, because I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube group. You gotta go on YouTube, Silburn TV on YouTube. I'm not really focusing on TikTok or TokTik. This is YouTube. I just have that right there. So yeah. So yeah, so that's the thing there. What we are seeing unfolding before ourselves.
Yes.
It's very interesting. Very interesting. But anyway, before we go, the election is on its way in Jamaica. You um PNP, JLP, UIC. Apparently, they are now talking about having debates, and I believe these debates should be with um, different political parties in Jamaica, like the party which is called the United Independent Congress. But they don't seem to be any appetite for that. It's PNP or JLP, and it's looking very tight.
Mm, mm.
And Gary, the whole aspect of integrity, transparency, and accountability, that's somehow being pushed out the door. That's not something which is being looked at as any major or any something of significance. You know, yeah.
Mm.
not looking at as anything of major significance, Somebody said, good, but why did you flee your land? Why not stay home and build up your home country? I wish people sort of say who they are. Group up 0015. Who are you? What have you got a picture? You're hiding behind. I don't like when people hide behind pictures and they hide behind their keyboard and they're saying many things. It's not nice, you know. You don't know where am I. You have no idea. I could be, as my brethren said one time. Gary said, "Where are you?" He said, "I'm on the internet, man. I'm on the internet. I could be anywhere." As a fellow African, why not stay home and build up your home country? As a fellow African, I'm asking. Well, as a fellow African, the question is this: you know, you work for the white. You said you was Uganda. Who said I'm? I don't know what this is, Gary. Somebody may have cloned me. They say I'm Ugandan. I'm not Ugandan, Gary. I think I've been cloned. No, I'm a Ugandan. Somebody said I was a laborite earlier.
Well, put it this way, because you say you're on the internet, you could be anywhere, So yeah, just take it like that. Because somebody else is going to say you're from Zimbabwe. That's fine. You're on the internet. You could be anywhere.
Actually, I mean, I think when maybe one do their DNA thing by DNA ancestry, I could turn out that my ancestors were from Uganda and not Ghana or Nigeria. You know what I mean? 'Cause we're all over the place. Group up 00115. Thank you so much. I was engaged with that verse. Yeah.
Well, you could, if you did a DNA test, you could even be said, or it could even be said that you may be a long distance cousin of Donald Trump.
What is it? Well, a lot of people used to like to say that they are this person and they are that person. They have history in what the place called? They got history in Scotland or whatever like that. As I said, Jamaica is totally mixed up where people come from, But Gary, there is a manifesto that the PNP did. I don't know if you saw the manifesto that PNP did. PNP did a manifesto, but the JLP have not released one as yet. The one that the JLP has provided they have provided a list of the achievements that they have had so far. But the PNP have done one where they have done it. They also have Patois. They have it in Patois as well, Gary. They got Patois version. Let me see if PNP manifesto. Where is it? Somebody said it was in Patois. PNP manifesto.
Complete the review of the Domestic Violence Act and implement the recommendations. We will enact a basic financial services law so people can access fair banking across the country. We will also upgrade court facilities so that judges, staff, and citizens' work are served in safe, modern spaces.
Our legal reform agenda reflects who we are as a nation. We will recognize Jamaican language as part of our identity, ban the hair discrimination, protect ancestral spaces and cultural practices, fully recognize Rastafari as an indigenous religion with associated rights, and pursue a respectful accord with Maroon communities that gives modern recognition to their treaty rights. We will also join the International Criminal Court to reinforce Jamaica's commitment to global justice.
Justice for all means laws applied equally. Stronger protection for women, seniors, and persons with disabilities. public access to beaches that...
What you're seeing, Gary, what you're seeing is that, I don't know, I'm hearing some good feedback, but that's for a while. What you're seeing or what you're hearing is that people can actually listen to the manifesto at the same time. And it's broken down into different areas, like you have quality education.
1,000 students will receive $10,000 per month based on assessed need. Through ease, ensuring adequate sustenance for education, every needy primary and secondary student will receive at least one hot meal each day.
We will strengthen early childhood structure.
And how do you think one of the best ways in articulating or discussing the whole thing regarding this election, Gary? Hey, yeah. How do you think one of the best ways to articulate this election? Articulate, what do you think is the best in order to get people out to vote? I don't think it has ever passed 40% for the past few elections. And I think that's one of the most important things, is getting people to come out to vote.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what percentage, based on the study that you have done, the limited study that you did the last time, so because you did say, what percentage of the population voted?
37%. And correction. 37% of the electoral list. The electoral list was 1.92 million. Yes, 37% of that voted. 400 and something thousand voted for the PNP, GLP. 300 and so thousand voted for the PNP. So therefore, 400,000 voted for the JLP out of a population of nearly 2.8 or 9 million. So work it out, think about it like that. And that is one of the reasons why I say to many people not to allow a minority to vote for you. Not to allow a minority to be the one that vote, and their votes will go into the bucket. And because you don't vote, because you say, boy, I mean, I vote, none of them matter to me. But at the same time, the diehard, politically astute, I don't know what astute is the right word I should say, but the politically active, that the relevant political parties, they will try to bring out their votes in order to vote. So that is what is happening. So
I mean, my question is, how many of that electoral roll is going to come out and vote? Never mind, the electoral roll didn't even have, it doesn't seem it had the majority of the population of Jamaica, of those who could vote.
Well, it has increased now. The figures which is there now, was on the electoral list, I think it's up to 2 million. But at the same time, I don't know really. I should really check to see how much is on the electoral list. But I'm sure lots of people have passed away, and they must find some dead people on the they must find some dead people on the list as well, which need to be taken off. So well, really,
put it this way. Put it this way. With the amount of people that they seem to be killing every day in Jamaica, I'm sure there's people that was on the electoral that's dead now anyway. Yeah. They were going at it. But seriously though, how many are you hopeful? Is it going to be the same, even if the figures have gone up? Is it going to be the same percentage that you found out in your during your project there?
Gary, I really hope it's more hope. I really hope that the turnout will be about 60%. I really hope that the percent and it's really pushing it in a bit because people. I'm Saturday night. I'm going to be having some I'm organizing some young people to come on the show. Some young Jamaicans, not political aligned. They could be political aligned. They could be political aligned, but we're not going to be having a discussion on a PNP or a JLP. We're going to have a discussion on what it means to be this election, how much it matters to Jamaicans and to youths. The feedback I'm getting from a lot of youth, and I'm going to send you a link. I was watching an interview with this guy named Neville. I think it's Smile Jamaica or so, and the youths are asking lots of questions. The youths feel like they are not a part of this whole process. Those who are a part of the whole process are those maybe involved in it in some way. So that's the thing. I'm trying to find the voters list. I like to see like how much people is on the voters list. Coming up this election. But as a few people have said, and this is what I have to contend with. I have to contend with this, that people in the diaspora, we don't have a vote. However, there are people who live over here in the diaspora who still have a vote because they registered to vote and they will go down to Jamaica to vote. The deadline to register for vote for the May 31st voters list is March 3rd. The deadline for the November 30th voters list is September the 30th. So therefore, the focus is on May the 30th. That was the thing. Now, when I look at the persons who are on the electoral commission, the chairman is he's on every road, everything he's on. Jamaica national guy there. Let me see. The persons on the board is Earl Jarrett, Justice Retired Brooks, Maurice Barnes, Tom Tavares Finson, Justice Zayla McCullough, Senator Skeefrey, Dr. Audrine Franklin Glasspole Brown. He's the Director of Elections, and Dayton Campbell. Right? It's very interesting about this because I don't know if you heard the interview that I had with a gentleman called Mr. Joseph Patterson. Joseph Patterson from UIC. They seem to get a fight out of the whole thing. They are a member. They have a party in Jamaica, and their party somehow is not getting any recognition. And their party, as far as I'm concerned, and according to what they want, should be able to be on the platform having a debate. There's a saying that there's not much changes that will happen at this time because people already make up their mind. Yeah, people already make up their mind. Yeah. I'm just navigating the electoral. I was trying to find like how many people is on the electoral list, but this is about 2,000, 2 million now, if anything like that, Gary. But it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a very interesting election, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going to be having these different discussions, and I'm going to be having also the night of election. The night of election, I'm going to be also having a forum, hopefully with a couple of persons as well. Yeah. Yep. All right. Have you got any followers yet, Gary, to come over on TikTok?
No.
Guys, everyone over here need to follow Gary. Gary you need to come over TikTok so they can follow you. You need to just join them. Just come over onto TikTok and Belinda will follow you. Prime Host will follow you. Courtney Doman will follow you. Everybody will follow you, Gary. They are all waiting for you to follow you. Everybody over here ready to follow you. And to give you some sort of traction as well. Yeah. But yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I want to say good night and thank you so much for joining. Gary, any last word as to what's going on in the UK? Will Keir Starmer be Prime Minister by end of next week?
I mean, I think there needs to be a general election here. I really think that we need an election. I don't know which party would win really. I think it would be a very close run thing. But what the Labour Party needs to do really is sort out their leadership. Before they go into an election, they're gonna have to sort out their leadership. Because Keir Starmer, obviously, in my mind, doesn't know what he's doing.
I tend to agree with you that he doesn't know what he's doing. And but then somebody said, and if you get rid of Keir Starmer, who are you gonna get? Because it is not like the Conservative where they can vote people out just like that. We have the 1922 committee. The Labour Party, you've got to go back to conference, and guess who's the deputy? Who's the deputy for the Labour Party?
Is it Rayner?
Angela Rayner. And many people are saying, "Oh my God, let's keep Starmer."
I think that there's two things here. They're in politics, but they're not in the middle of it. One is Andy Burnham. Another one is Ed Balls, if that's his name.
Sorry, and what do you mean by Andy Burnham? Who is it, mayor? What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that he's a good contender.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's not in mainland parliament, the mayor of Manchester, but he's a good one, or one that could be considered. Don't know his views as such, but he seems to be doing quite well for Manchester.
Yes.
You've got Ed Balls. Is that his name?
Ed Balls, yeah. But Ed Balls is now an interview. Is now with one of the stations.
I know that, but I think he ought to be one that could be considered.
You think he should come back?
Yeah, I think he could come back here. I mean, I'm looking at past politicians who, when they were in there, I'm not saying all the politicians were spotless. No, they're not. But I mean, they're human beings. But I think that they did make an impact, an impression on people's minds, really. And the third one that I think has for me here as an individual, that I think I would really look at very closely and consider if he ever came back.
Who's that?
Would be, Edward's brother.
The brother. The brother. Miliband. David Miliband.
David Miliband.
You think Labour is still pining for him from that time?
Well, I don't know if they're pining. I mean, they haven't said anything. I mean, nothing really is being said about him. I think the unions, they know they made a mistake.
By the way, for the brother.
I think that they're regretting the mistake that they made. But
and the poor,
go on.
And the poor brothers were shocked. They were shocked as to the outcome. They were both shocked as to the outcome.
Yeah. I think they were. I mean, David is not in politics. He's head of international rescue up there in New York, and he's doing his thing there. So I think he's I think he would be a very good contender. The problem that we're having, if you're looking at world politics, Silver, the problem that the world has for some of these political parties is that there is no one really coming up in the ranks. When you look at the Democratic Party of the United States, when you look at the Labour Party of the UK, when you look at the PNP, let me say, of the Jamaica, when you look at some of these countries, the opposition, it would seem, they don't have anybody coming up through the ranks that's making an impact. When you look at, like, for instance, like now the Conservative Party, when you look at the Republican Party, when you're looking at the parties around that seems to be in power, I think you can see shoots of succession. For instance, for argument's sake, let me bring you one very, for me, it's a clear example of what I'm saying. You got President Trump, who is the Republican head and president of the United States. Who do you think would be a very likely successor that, if he was to run, would make a very big impact and has really made a very big impact?
JD Vance.
JD Vance.
Very clear.
Very clear. Yeah, it's very clear. Exactly. Now,
and he'll be a powerhouse.
He would be, and I think that Trump knows what he's doing. He doesn't say much about him. He's not saying much about him, but he has him close by him. Every time he's saying something and he's doing something, where is JD? Every time he's sending somebody overseas, not only Witkoff, but who else is he sending overseas to really represent in strategic positions or strategic places that U.S. needs to be heard? Isn't it JD Vance?
JD Vance.
Yeah. He eclipsed the foreign David Lammy. He eclipsed him by far. He came here and met with him. But Lammy doesn't have anything. He couldn't say anything that could overshadow anything that JD said.
Yeah. Many people said that there was no sort of clout with Lammy, as well. But Gary, listen, I'm gonna rock now, as well. I'm going over TikTok. I'm waiting for you to come over TikTok and to light up the place. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining. Those on Facebook, those on TikTok, those on YouTube. Thank you so much. Until next week. And Saturday night, I'll be having a program talking about the Jamaican election. Gonna get some youth, some young people around. I'm hoping to get maybe one or two from the diaspora, but primarily from Jamaica, as to what are they looking for in Jamaica at this time with this election. That would be very interesting. So without further ado, thank you so much. Hey, Liz, Olivia, what's up? Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.